Hi, welcome to Copenhagen. If you're watching the replay, thanks for dropping in. So today I am working on Roaring Tiger from Home Craftology. I'm not even halfway, so working with tweezers, so placing one drill at a time, and currently on a section that is all the same colour, so doing the good old checkerboard. So just finished work, got home, decided to do a bit of diamond painting, fire up the camera and see who drops in, if anybody. It is 7:02 p.m. in Denmark. So states-wise, it's going to be like 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday. So a lot of people are going to be at work or busy doing other stuff. So probably going to be quiet. So you get that quite a lot with the tweezers. Once you've used them a bit, the tips of the tweezers, because they touch the glue, they get sticky. So when you pick up a drill, quite often get two. And when it started doing this, I would knock off the extra one. But what I do now is when I pick up an extra, I just put it where I want it to go, place the one that I've got in the tweezers, pick up the one that I put down and flip over. It saves me having to go back and forward twice. Sometimes I'll actually pick up three. I get one either side of the drill that I'm picking up, like that. So now I've got three. One fell off, no big deal. So what I do is I tap that one, place that one, square that one up, pick up the one that fell, put it in. And again, picked up two, put one down, put one where I want it, flip that one over, push it into place. That's what I like about tweezers. It's really easy to see where you're putting the drill, and it's really easy to manipulate it because the tweezers are a lot stronger than a pen tip. So it's easy to maneuver. So that was, again, picked up two. People sometimes ask how I get them so straight. I find it easier with tweezers to see exactly where you're putting the drill. And what I do is I aim for that bottom left-hand corner of the drill. Now, the tips of the tweezers actually line up with the lines of the square. If your canvas has a grid like this where it's really easy to see, they don't all have it. So the main thing I'm aiming for is this bottom left-hand corner, and that's it. I don't move it. Once it's in there, that's it. Because as long as the drill is inside the square, it'll be fine. You don't want it to go over. When you start to see gaps and you start to push drills across to try and hide the gap, all you're doing is increasing the gap at the opposite side. And if you keep doing it and moving drills to try and keep them tight, you're going to end up, all the drills will be out of line with the actual pattern. So I know it's frustrating for people, or some people anyway, to see these gaps, but they really don't matter. you will not see them from a normal distance. Hi Jane, thanks for dropping in. So I was just sort of talking about square drills and using tweezers and the way that I do it and why I don't push the drills about. Basically, I aim for that bottom left corner, that's it. And if there happens to be a gap, there's a gap. Once you switch the light off and step back, you're never going to see it. But people do, I know that people have been put off doing squares because of these gaps, because they're irregular gaps. Depends which company you get the drills from as well. This is Home Craftology's new drills, and they are very, very clean, and the gaps are absolutely minute. The drills don't really get a chance to try and spin. You'll notice that with some kits that when you put the drills in and you've got the light pad on, you notice that some drills aren't sitting straight. They're sort of turned slightly, and again that puts people off. Fighting the glue here. But you'll see as I fill this up, the gaps are very even with the Home Craftology's new drills. I think they're actually the cleanest that I've ever used with the least amount of gap. But again, from any distance, the gaps don't matter. It doesn't matter how big they are. As long as the square is in the square, that is the main thing. And don't be tempted to start pushing them over because it'll end up a mess. You can't make the drill any bigger than it is, and if it's smaller than the square that you're putting it in, there's always going to be gaps. All you're doing is moving it around. It's like getting it's like filling a glass 7/8 full and trying to pour it into another glass the same size and fill the glass. You're never going to do it. There's always going to be a gap. So people sometimes try and get the gap as even as possible. To me, you don't really need to stress and waste time doing that. Like I said, all I do is I aim for the bottom left-hand corner, and as long as that corner is sitting near enough there, it's going to look fine. These ones actually look good with the light pad on, which is very unusual. Normally, with square drills, you will see squint drills or drills that are trying to turn and gaps that are very uneven. It's just how they are. But I did a comparison video between Diamond Art Club drills or the new Diamond Art Club drills and the new Home Craftology drills. The one that I had done from Diamond Art Club was Batman, which is a really, really cool diamond painting. The point wasn't to like say that one was better than the other or anything. It was just really for people who do have this thing about squares and them being uneven. If it bothers you a lot, I would say try Home Craftology, but obviously only if you find a picture you like. To me, that is the main thing. You've got to like the picture. You're not just doing a picture because it comes from a certain company. I like to do pictures that I like. Wonder Woman. Yeah, the drills are. I mean, they are good. But it's just if you look at that, the reason that I did that video was purely because of the square thing. You see it a lot in groups that people try squares or they don't try squares because they hear a lot about them. And this uneven gap thing puts some people off. They just won't do them because of it. So that was just a direct comparison showing the new Diamond Art Club and the new Home Craftology, basically not side by side, but I used a slider and I just slid along. This one I had only started it. Yeah, I never really noticed. I have noticed quite a few people mentioning static with the Diamond Art Club drills. I never had. uh, I'm trying to think, but I'm sure I never had any problems with static on Batman. And again, if I put well, I did it. If I put Batman down and stick the light pad on behind it, you'll see the drills are sort of out of line. The gaps are uneven. But if you switch the light pad off and you step back, I mean, Batman looks fantastic. It's really, really shiny. I mean, their new drills are really nice, but it was more to do with a square thing. If it really bothers you that much, maybe try the new Home Craftology ones. I mean, it's just a fact. It's like I'm not trying to compete like company against company or anything. It was just I see it so many times that people say, "Oh, I hate squares. The gaps drive me nuts." The gaps on round drills are actually bigger, but because they're more uniform, people don't really bother about them. I think it's the unevenness of the gaps that irritates people because they're trying to get everything exactly square. Hi, Chantel. I never saw you come in, believe it or not. Wonder Woman. How many Wonder Woman ones are there? I know they came out with a lot of Superman. They've got, was it The Kiss? That's Wonder Woman and Superman. The Mandy one. Ah, okay, cool. But yeah, I mean, the new Diamond Art Club drills are very nice. I think I've got, I've got 3 Diamond Art Clubs to unbox, but I've got a funny feeling, no, not all of them. I think 2 of them are going to be the old kits. One hopefully will be the new kit. And then I ordered quite a few from Home Craftology right before they switched over to these new drills. So I think I've got about 6 to unbox, or maybe even 7. And it's all the old kits. So you know what it's like, you buy something and then next week it's on sale. Well, I bought quite a few kits and then they brought out the new drills with the new bags, the resealable bags, which I think was a huge step up. Makes it really easy for people who are just starting. They've already got the bags labelled, DMC code and number, and it means they don't have to think about storage. They can work from the bags. I think that's a huge thing, especially for beginners. She's doing the really pretty one. Batman one was really pretty. Tons of ABs in it. The Batman name, the yellow Batman name is all ABs. But hopefully you can see as this is starting to come together. I mean, the gaps are even, I would say, as close as you're going to get. I mean, that's the light pad on, which shows, well, everybody knows, but I mean, it shows absolutely every minute gap. Looks like a lot of beige confetti. This one we're talking about, it went from Multiplacer Heaven, which I don't use, but massive chunks of the same colour because it's got a white and off-white background. And then when you actually hit the tiger, it just goes into serious confetti. Hang on, okay. That's it off. There's still some drills to go in to push things into place, but when you see the light on, you don't have these like twisted drills, sort of uneven things. Yeah, but again, we're being sort of microscopic with this, and I did say that when I did the comparison video at the end, that realistically, the twisted drills or uneven gaps don't matter. They really don't. You cannot see it from any decent viewing distance. I mean, Batman looks really, really cool. But it was really for the people that have just got this big hang up about uneven gaps with squares, even though they don't have hang ups with huge gaps on rounds. I think it's just the evenness that sort of irritates people. I never use a straightener. I just place the drills. I always have. I always single place. I've never used a multi-placer. I've never used the straightener. The only time I used a rulery thing, you know, the steel rulers. The only time I used them is just to try them, to let people see them. Personally, I wouldn't use them because apart from anything else, you're limited to a strip. So if I've got a bit here with confetti, I'm changing the colours even more than I normally would. I don't checkerboard because I like to press them to the side. Okay. Well, as I said, I don't know when you dropped in, Michelle. But the way that I do it when I'm filling them in, there's not much to show. What I do is when I place them, I aim for the bottom left-hand corner, and that's it. That's all I aim for. I aim the bottom left-hand corner of the drill to the bottom left-hand corner of the square, and that's it. Yeah, the steel rulers, it's just I feel that you're doing an awful lot of swapping and changing colours because you're only what's that? What's under the laptop? You can only do the drills in that area, which is a small area. So it would mean if I was doing like along here, I'm doing this colour, but I've got all of these with the same colour, and I'm changing the drills instead of. I just don't. To me, it doesn't make sense, and then you've got this thing where you're trying to peel the ruler up and hold the drills down and poke them down, and to me, it's just too much hassle. I just want to put the drills down. But I think placing drills, it does come down to experience as well. I mean, I never used tweezers at the beginning. I tried it once and the drill just shot away, and I thought, "Oh, forget that. That's just too much." And then a long time later, I was working on Winter Wonderland from Diamond Dots. It had a ton of ABs, and the only time I was using tweezers was either when I dropped drills on the glue and had to pick them off, or I put the drill in the wrong place and I had to pick it off, or if I was doing ABs. So it had a lot of ABs, and it was round as well. I was using tweezers for round drills. So I got a ton of practice in, and then I started to realise that because what I was doing was I was doing the ABs with the tweezers, and then I was switching back to the pen for the normal drills. And then after a while, I thought, why am I switching back to the pen? So I just kept using tweezers. So by the time it was quite big, Winter Wonderland. By the time I finished that, I'd had tons of practice with tweezers. So then I just started using tweezers, and then I really got used to it. But I've always single placed it. I've never even used a multi-placer, so I don't miss a multi-placer. Yeah, I'm exactly the same, Gene. I mean, I've said it loads of times, and people that come in will know, but normally when I'm diamond painting, I have headphones on and I'm listening to music, and that's how I relax. Hi, Nancy. Um, to me, single placing, listening to music, it's total switch off time for me, and I really enjoy it. And the other thing is, it takes me longer to do the diamond paintings, so I get more relaxation time single placing. So I get more bang for my buck, if you want to look at it that way. Some people want to do them fast for whatever reason. Some people, I think, maybe just like to try and do them as quick as they can. Some people, they've maybe got a deadline that's maybe coming up to an anniversary or a birthday or something, so they've got a deadline. So they'll, oh, do you enjoy Sunday? Yeah, I enjoyed it. I used to, well, I've said it before, but I mean, I used to do live streams around Copenhagen on an app called Periscope, and I've done it literally hundreds of times in 4.5 years. And that was the first time since Corona that I'd actually done one. So it was quite nice to get back out. I just sort of skimmed everything, though. I never went into any detail, but there's tons of stuff to do. I used to have a lot of online people I painted with in a video call, but they've all just stopped hanging out online. I've never tried that. I'll pre-warn you, Chantel, there was microphone problems. I don't know why. Some bits the sound cuts out, and I only found out when I watched the replay. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I never have problems when I'm recording videos and I use the same microphone. It's a wireless microphone. I don't know if it was the wind. Well, it was quite windy. You'll hear that as well. But the majority of the time it worked. And I've been getting a lot of feedback, and it's quite nice that people enjoyed it. So I will be doing more lives in Copenhagen. It's that one sort of ties in with diamond painting because when I started at Newhound, where I took a picture a long time ago and then I got it converted into a custom diamond painting. So that sort of ties in. It's fun to see different projects and different ways people draw canvas. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. And again, it's if somebody's new, they're looking for the right way to do it. And okay, there are some things that are wrong, no matter how you do it, like to put the drill down upside down, that's wrong. To not put the drill in the designated space, that's wrong. Apart from that, how you do it is totally up to you. And that's what I like about it. People will find ways that they work and storage systems that work for them, tweezers, pens, whatever. But to me, the main thing is it's a hobby and you're meant to enjoy yourself while you do it. I find it very relaxing. And it's kind of hard to explain to people, well, you can do it this way, this way, this way, this way, and it just gets confusing. Or this storage system, that storage system, tweezers, square drills, round drills, and then they read in groups. People don't do squares because they hate them because they're too hard, and then they think, oh, squares are hard, I'm never doing them. I did the exact opposite. I was looking and I kept reading that square drills give more detail, and I decided to do squares, and I did a 60 by 60 as my very first diamond painting. And I had that in my head. Squares are better because they're clearer and you get a sharper picture, and that's what I wanted, and bigger is better. And then one time I ordered the diamond painting and I never realised it was round. And I got it, and it sat there for a long time because I thought, it's round, it's going to look like crap. So I just left it sitting for a long time. And then eventually I decided to try it. And that's when I found out the difference is minimal, but it depends on the detail of the picture as well. There's different things come into play. But just because a diamond painting is round doesn't mean it's going to suck. It's more likely if it's a very small diamond painting with a lot of detail, it won't matter if it's round or square, it's going to suck. I want to make my own and print the canvas myself. Ooh. So many spare drills. Yeah, I've got thousands of spare drills. I'm going to use a cross-stitch converter. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I would have no idea how to start doing your own canvas, though. What I did was I took, well, I've had a few customs now, but like the Newhound one, I took the picture, and then because Newhound's like really old, I used a art package and converted it into more like an oil painting, and then contacted Mike at Smith's Beads and asked if he could do a custom. And I just really left it up to him what size, because I didn't want it that small that it sucked, but I didn't want it massive either. So I left it up to him. So he did that, and then I did one. I took a picture of Hans Christian Andersen's statue in Kongens Heo, King's Garden in Copenhagen, and I tweaked that and turned it into Confettiville. And I'm going to go to that statue and do a live and let people see it. How do you get... I'm trying to think about this. So you're talking about buying canvas and printing on canvas and then putting glue on it. Is that right? Oh, printable canvas. But what about the glue? Are you going to do like poured glue? Sounds like a major project. It's not something that I would try. I'd rather let somebody else do all the hard work and just do the diamond painting. I need to look back. I know I've been missing comments. Diamond dots dot stick. You're crafty. I'm not. That's the thing about diamond painting as well. You don't need to be really crafty. You just need to be able to put a square in a square or a circle in a circle, and you can do it. Patience is the thing, I think. If you take your time, things tend to look better, and then the more you practice, the better you get at placing drills, I think. But the main thing is it's enjoy doing it. I'd be interested to see how it goes, printing your own canvas and doing your own glue. Dot stick is a bottle of glue that you can use to diamond paint on objects like... right, okay, so it's like a... Right, okay, so it's like a glue that you put on from... Is that like dot stick? I'm thinking that's like the kiddies glue sticks type thing. And you just sort of rub it onto the paper. Is it that sort of thing? I once covered a pizza cutter with diamonds and E5000 glue. Oh, it's a liquid glue, okay. Yeah, my wife has been talking about doing things with spare drills and just never got around to it. Too busy doing actual diamond paintings. We've got one coming up that I've still to unbox that we're going to work on together. It's going to stretch across both our tables. We've got two drafting tables facing each other, and this one's going to stretch all the way across. In fact, I'm going to have to move one of the tables back a bit because it's longer than the distance we're apart. So we're going to start working on opposite ends of each. So that's going to be pretty cool. So I'll have two cameras set up. We'll probably do some lives, and you can see both of us working on opposite ends of the diamond painting at the same time. All right, so you let it dry and then it's sticky. Okay, I've never heard that. Let's go back just in case I missed any comments. Hogwarts Crest was great drills as well. Was that one of the new ones then, Nancy? One of the new kits? New drills? Okay, just checking I hadn't missed anything. Okay, so right, it's in a bottle, so you don't pour it, or do you pour it, or do you just rub it? I don't know what Tammy's doing. They're meant to be watching Lost, but I think they've stopped it. Oh, by the way, we're fine. Somebody was asking. I think it's Jean. Yeah, we're both fine. Thanks. Mop it with a foam brush. Right, okay. So you basically just spread it out. Yeah, that's far too crafty for me. Placing drills is as far as I go being artistic. Okay, missed some. Yeah, so when I'm placing, like, I've got these 4 drills here. Hopefully it's in focus. I would just place that one, and then I'm aiming it into this bottom corner. And then I would do the next one up here, and then I would go back and fill. I do checkerboard all the time. Even if I've only got 3 drills, I'll put the middle one in and then do one on either side. Or I'll do one at one side, one at the other side, and one in the middle. I just always do checkerboard. I don't even think about it. Just looking for any that I might have missed. I know I'm going to miss them, but I think that's it. So do you have a design ready, Shelley? Like for your first project? And the way that I do this is, like we were saying, everybody's got their own way of working. Some people might go for, like, they've got more of this colour in the middle, so they would do that first to get like a big piece done. I don't do that. I just start in the bottom right hand corner and then just use whatever colour is the very first square, and then use all of them in that area, and then go to the next colour and the next colour. I don't think it's just, I'm pretty sure it's not the fastest way to do it, but it's just the way I do it. As I said, I'm listening to music when I'm doing it, so I don't mind. 48. I had the scene with Ka in Jungle Book when Muggle's hypnotised, charted, but I really think I want to use my own artwork. Yeah, I would agree with that. Not copying Disney cartoons or whatever. The thing I get as well is if you do your own stuff, it is absolutely unique. Like I did Newhound. Nobody else has got that diamond painting. Hans Christian Andersen. Nobody else has got that diamond painting. I've got a few customs. So this bit is kind of confetti. It's all scattered all over the place. Yeah, I mean that's. I mean the thing is, it's up to everybody what they do. But you will get people saying, well, the thing is, if you do that, you're going to encourage other people to copy it, and the artist doesn't get credit and all that stuff. I don't really get involved in all that. My wife works and deals with trademarks and copyright, so I sort of know all the stuff that goes on. People copying stuff illegally, and not with her, it's not artwork. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I mean, if you're working on stuff and nobody else sees it, well, and people seem to think that if they do it and they don't sell it, it's okay. It isn't. But in the real world, what are the chances that Disney's lawyers are going to come to your door? I mean, I don't know. Not that I am condoning it. But when you look at diamond paintings, I mean, trying to check who the artist is for every piece of art that you look at. I mean, I did it at one point. I was trying to figure out how do you know? How, like, okay, I've got this picture that I like, but I don't even know who drew it. And then I found that you get these apps that you can put the picture in and it'll scan the net and then it'll come back. And lots of times it never came back with an answer. And sometimes it comes back with an answer, but it doesn't tell you if it's licensed or it needs to be licensed or if it's public domain. It's really confusing. I mean, the obvious ones are like Disney characters and all that stuff. I mean, obviously they're trademarked, but a lot of the other stuff, it's hard to tell. Wasn't as much of this as I thought. It was quick. Well, I don't know. I mean, there's a huge argument with all that stuff. The thing is, I'm sure, like cartoon characters, say Disney, their trademarks and copyrights, you cannot copy their picture, their artwork. Taking a picture of a statue, as far as I know, it's not copyrighted. Like people can go and take pictures of statues. They're in public places. There's no copyright on them. Uh, 38. I do confetti. I have a few trees. Oh no, I don't do that. I commented in, I don't know if it was Diamond Art Club's group, but somebody somewhere posted a picture. They were working on something. They had a lot of colours and they had all these trays out with drills. And I thought, oof. And I commented and I said, I prefer to spill one tray at a time. Having multiple trays on the table would just, for me personally, it's just asking for disaster. Plus, it takes up a lot of space to put multiple trays on the table as well, and then you've got to watch you don't accidentally hit any of them. I try and be as efficient with space as possible. I mean, just now I've got a case with 80 Tic Tac boxes. I've got 2 of these Craftmate lockable things. I've got a laptop, I've got a mouse, I've got my junk tray, I've got a green tray, I've got the tray that I work with, I've got my phone, I've got a spoon, I've got my key, all on the table. Oh, you've got a tower. Yeah, okay. I'm on a tilted table, having to move a tilted tower about. It's just for me, this works, and this is, again, this gets down to people work different ways, people's setups are different. I just like to try and keep everything taking up as little space as possible on the table. But I've seen those tower things. I mean, the idea looks good, but for me, practically, it doesn't work, or it wouldn't work. It's too big. And I do diamond paintings. I mean, the customs that I've done, I think 2 or 3 of them have got 90 colours in them. And I like to have all the colours out at one time. Yeah, see, this is the thing. I mean, some people do diamond paintings and they work on one of those little lap table things. And I think, how do you do those big diamond paintings on that little thing? I couldn't do it. I've started limiting myself to the width or the height. It's as long as it's 60 by something, because I'm using an A2 light pad and I can work 60 wide. Now that could be I turn the diamond painting sideways like I'm doing with this one, and I work sideways. But I like to have the whole picture on the light pad. Some people don't like that. I got fed up with the A4 having to, because most of the time I'm doing bigger ones, having to lift the canvas up and get my hand underneath and try and find the switch, and I just found it annoying. So I got an A2 which takes up most of the table, and then I tend to try and go for diamond paintings that fit in either sideways or width. And that's just the way I've decided to do it. So all the smaller ones, like 30 by 40 and stuff like that, fit on this easy. The whole thing fits on it. And then I use release paper. Some people don't. Some people do. And it's just the way I prefer to work. And then I cover the table with table placemats. That's what, where are we? I'm trying to decide where the camera is. Yeah. This is a table placemat. So I have the whole table covered because I'm on a tilted table, and if I just had release paper, everything would slide. So I have table placemats all over the table and only open up the section that I'm going to work on. And it gives it an extra protection as well. Like that area there that I lifted, which was this bit. I've already finished this section. So this stops dust and stuff. That's just the way I work it. But again, the thing is, for people who are new or people who are thinking about doing it, watching YouTube videos is a really good way to do it, because you get an idea of all the possible options, and then you think, yeah, that would work in my situation, and just that sort of thing. And you pick up little bits and pieces for different people, and then you try it, and then you end up probably changing it slightly to suit you. I mean, everybody works their own thing out eventually. I mean, I've tried different containers and things as well, and finally ended up settling for the Tic Tac containers, which is what I actually started with. Just because I like them, and I can get a lot of different colours in a small space. The ones that I've got hold 80, so I've got 2 cases now, because, like I said, I've got some diamond paintings that have got 90 colours, so I can't even get one box for each. But I did a video about the way that I'll work it, because that means that I've got loads of extra Tic Tacs, and then I can shuffle things. And for me, it just works. And then when I've got stacks of one colour, I use these lockables. I had all of Batman's 310s. Try to remember, I think these hold something like 20,000 plus each section. There's 4 sections. I've got 16 of them. Like, not 16 of these, I mean 16 sections. I've got like 4 of these big containers. So I use them when I've got a lot of one colour. 96 Tic Tac containers. Cool. But the thing is, because of the way I work it, I don't, like, if I had 80 colours, I would use more than 80 containers, because the Tic Tac containers only hold about 1,000 drills. So if I have 2,500 of a colour, I'll have 2.5 Tic Tac containers of that colour in sequence. I keep them all in order. I use the spares, and then I shuffle things about. But like I said, I've done a video explaining like the way that I work it, and I know you get people saying I hate Tic Tac containers because whatever, they're too small. I hate this because whatever. And again, it's everybody will get their own thing that works for them. Some people will just work out of bags and be quite happy if you get resealable bags. The double Tic Tacs, no. I've now settled, like, I've been using this setup for a long time, and it just works perfect for me. Again, because it doesn't take up a lot of space. So, oops. This is when you know that you're getting popular, when you start to get all this junk. I recommend getting one set of double. It helps. Yeah, I mean, it definitely would. But again, I had what, 80,000 black. So I was never ever going to put 80,000 black in Tic Tac containers. So that's what I use the lockables for. I think they hold 20,000 in each section, roughly, something like that. But I ended up, I had all of the drills for Batman were in one case of 80. Like one of those little cases that zips up. I had all the drills because it's got like a net thing in the lid. So the black that I never managed to get in, I just put the full bags in there. So I had everything for Batman in one case. And that was what, I forget what it was, 85,000 drills or something in total. I think. Can't remember. One Tic Tac holds 500. No. One Tic Tac holds, you know, the strings that everybody hates, the little strings of 200 bags. One Tic Tac container takes 5 of those bags. So that's how I figure it holds 1,000. So one Tic Tac, a normal size Tic Tac box or Tic Tac container, holds about 1,000 drills. So if yours holds double, that'll be 2,000. That's my reckoning. 5 Tic Tac, 5 of the very small bags that hold about 200 drills fits in one Tic Tac. And that's how I work it. When I'm looking at a key, like, hang on, before I stick paper onto the glue live, when I look at a key, I look at the number. So under 1,000, oh, hang on, where am I? Because then I can figure, like, under 1,000, that's one Tic Tac. Under 1,000, one Tic Tac, one Tic Tac, one, 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 one. And this is the thing. It's in fact, I need to go down to here, 6,701, before I actually need to use more than one Tic Tac. But that is actually number 19, 6,000 and something. They're in here. That's what I was trying to figure out. I don't usually get all this junk. Pin message, report, remove, put user in timeout, hide user on this channel. So I thought all I had to do was hit hide user on this channel and it would stop them. Hang on. I think what happened there was it jumped up just as I was clicking the button, so your comment got blocked. Can you type something, Shelley, just to make sure I've unblocked you again? Because I think I accidentally blocked you. No, that's working. Yeah, it was just as I clicked, you commented and I hit the wrong thing. But anyway, as I was saying, that's the way that I work it, because then I can say, okay, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then I get to there 2,675. That's 3 Tic Tac containers for that colour. Hi, Sandrinetta. Thanks for dropping in. Well, thank you. Basically, when I do stuff, I just try and explain things, and hopefully it's, people can sort of understand it. Because I think when you're starting, you can get so much information and it changes. It's like I said, I was talking about square and round drills. If you keep reading the, like if you're in groups and people keep saying, or usually the way it starts is somebody will comment and say, I never do squares. I hate them, they're too hard. And then you get a whole pile of people jump in and say, yeah, I don't do them either, neither do I, neither do I. And you're a beginner, you've never done a diamond painting, and suddenly you're thinking, squares are hard, I'm new, I'm not going to do them. And then you join the group. Well, not the group, but you join the thought. And I did this, like I said earlier, I did the exact same thing, but it was the opposite. Because I was looking for detail, I wanted fine detail. And I kept reading square, square, square. If you want detail, square. And I thought, right, that's it, square. I'm only doing square because I always want detail. And then I accidentally bought a round. It sat for months. I never did it because I thought it's going to suck. And then I did it. And then I looked at it and I thought, there's nothing wrong with that. So it's easy to get sort of hung up Yeah, I am full of information. Most of it is useless, but it's information. Um, but that's the thing. It's like it's so easy because if you see a whole string of 20 people saying square drills suck because they're out of line, it's hard to line them up, and if you're totally new and you're reading that squares suck, squares suck, and you're just going to think, I'm not even going to try them. All these people have been diamond painting longer than me. They know what they're talking about. Squares must be bad. And that's just natural for you to think that. The big thing, the big thing is the size of the picture. That is the biggest thing. If it's a small picture and you've got a lot of detail on it, it's not going to look very good. It's just good to give the benefit of the doubt and think for yourself, especially if you're over. Yeah, I think most of us are over 20. But again, the thing is, I do square and round. But if I have a choice, I would do square. But it doesn't put me off buying. Like if I see a picture and I like it, I'll buy it. I mean, it's. I don't think after saying that at the very beginning, I wouldn't. I would have done that. I would have said, "Oh, I really like that picture, but it's round, and is detailed, so I'm not going to buy it." A way back then, I would have done that. Now I look at the picture. The main thing to me is the picture. If I really like the picture, I'll get it. Doesn't matter if it's round or square. But I wouldn't buy it if it was like a small diamond painting. I wouldn't buy either round or square because I've done videos. I can't remember what they're called now, but I've done video. I did a video where I bought a particular picture and I bought the smallest size I could get and I bought the largest size I could get of the same picture from the same company. And it was a company where they give you, say, 10 different sizes. So they show you the original artwork. The pictures always look the original artwork. And you can get it as a 20 by 20 up to a, I don't know, 80 by 80, for example. It was actually, I think it was bigger than that, but it wasn't square. It wasn't like 80 by 80. It was two different sizes, but I can't remember. So I bought the smallest one I could get, and I bought the biggest one that I could get, and I did both of them. And then I did a video and I compared them, and the difference in detail is massive, absolutely massive. The picture is, I think it's two cockerels, a hen, and some chicks, and flowers and stuff. A lot of detail. And I knew the small one was going to suck, but I wanted to do it as a video because it's okay. People saying, "Oh, you need to watch the detail, you need to watch size." Doesn't really mean anything to somebody who's new. They see the original artwork and it just shows you that picture is available, all these different sizes. It's going to look the same no matter what one I get. That's automatically what you think. What you have to think is the smallest size, the smallest line that you can get is going to be 2.5 millimeters thick. That is the thinnest line you can get. Now, if you're doing it on a 20 by 20 and you've got like grass blades and a lot of different fine detail, it's never, ever, ever going to happen. Never. But the companies don't show you that. They don't show you the picture of, okay, if you buy it at 20 by 20, this is how good it's going to look or not. They're not going to show you that. They show you the original artwork because they want you to buy it. And you're new and you look at the sizes and you look at the prices and you think, okay, I'm new. I'm going to get the cheapest one because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm going to like it. I'll get the cheapest. You get the smallest, the cheapest, you do it and you look at it and think, that was a total waste of time. I can't even make out what I'm looking at, especially when it's got text in it. All these family things, these sayings, and they've got nice, scrolly, fancy text. And then you buy it in a 20 by 20 or a 20 by 30 and you do it and you can't read it. or you can read some of it and you have to sort of guess what the rest says. And whereas if you bought the big one or bigger one, the problem is you don't know how big you can go, how big to go before you can actually read it. That's the problem as well. But you'll learn, I suppose, by mistakes. But the thing is, if somebody's just bought the very first diamond painting, they've done it for their family to put up in the hallway, and you can't even read it, and they're going to think, that's it, I'm not doing that again. I spent however much, $5 or whatever, and I spent hours doing that, and I can't even read it. That is enough to put somebody off diamond painting, and that's the sort of things that I try to get across. I've got videos on it, and other things are like accessories that you see, like, for example, the automatic filling diamond painting pen. I can't remember what I called it, but it looks, and the adverts are back, I've seen them again. It looks, you see somebody diamond painting, and it looks as if they're just going dot, 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 and they've got the drills inside the pen, and it looks as if it's feeding the drills. I did a video about that. Self-feeding, the amazing self-feeding diamond painting pen, or something I called it. And the reason I did it was to show people, like I did it at the very beginning, and it looked like it worked. And then I explained what I had done. I had edited the video and cut it every time I placed a drill. The part where I went back and picked up a drill, I cut that out. All right, put using timeout. I can't see. I need to look this up on YouTube. How to block them. I thought hide user on the channel would be enough. It came up saying this user's, unless they're switching to a different ID. I had all this in Periscope, and I used to do Periscope. We got trolls all the time. But you could block them. You just blocked it. And then they came back with a new ID and you blocked it, and they came back with a new ID and you blocked it, and that's just how it went. Okay, this is what happens. I'm a guy. I can't multitask. I can't talk. Once I get onto a rant, not even a rant, but once I get onto a subject, the diamond painting, as you see, just totally stops. And now I need to go back and look to see what colour I was doing. It was number 38, and I think I'd actually finished them. Oh, missed one. But again, the thing is, if you're totally new to diamond painting, the main thing is take your time. Just take your time and enjoy it. Try and enjoy it, at least. Don't go for a very detailed picture. That's the best advice I could give you. Or go for something like abstract art, like, hang on. Right, I'll let you see. This is the one that I'm working on, and it is, can't remember the size, 75 by 60. So it's 75 centimeters across, 60 centimeters high, and it's eventually going to look like that. This part here, these lines are the tiger's leg. So I've started this side and I'm working this way, and I've got the tiger's tail and its rump and one leg once I get this stretched on. So not even halfway. And that takes time. If you're new and you want to do diamond painting, depending on your patience level and if you can stay focused. I mean, I started with a 60 by 60 and square drills. I'd never seen a drill like in real life. I had just seen stuff on YouTube. When I got that kit, I could not believe how small these things are. And then when I saw a 60 by 60 canvas, it's massive when you're totally new. It's huge. But I just concentrated and I just did a bit, and eventually ended up with a picture, which I've got framed and it isn't even hanging up just now. But what I was going to say is, if you're new and you're thinking about taking up diamond painting, an abstract picture would be a good. In fact, I'm going to give you a sneak preview because this is one that I haven't even unboxed yet. If I can find it. Right. To me, this is a good example of a good one if you're totally new. Because there's no fine detail. It's like big chunks of colour. And if you can find something along this line that you like, whether you do it in round or square, it won't matter. It'll look nice. And I mean, I like bright colours. I think a lot of diamond painters like bright colours. Even if they've got a diamond painting with a dark background, they tend to have the actual picture part is bright. But doing an abstract is quite a good one because it's not a definitive shape. Like, you've not got a preconception of how this should look. I'll give you an example of one with a dark background that I've done that I really liked. This one. That had a lot of black, but look at the colours, man. That turned out really cool. I really like that one. But again, the shapes aren't like exact, if you know what I mean. They're arty. So you're not looking at really sharp lines and stuff. But so yeah, that would be my advice for somebody who's totally new. Go for something a bit abstract, like maybe something like that even. I mean, this is the actual artwork in the advert. The flower, the center of the flower does not look as detailed as that, but from a distance, it looks absolutely fine. You can tell what it is. It's a sunflower with a heart on wood, or it looks like wood. And it's nice. It's a nice picture. I'll let you see the one. This is the one that I did, and this is it framed. That's 60 by 60. Square drills, very first diamond painting. That was a major project that I had no idea what I was letting myself in for. If I wasn't a patient person, I think I would have given up. But headphones on, listen to music, and just do a little bit at a time. You're welcome. Something funny's happening in the living room. So yeah, I've found I like abstract diamond paintings. I just they're a bit different. Okay, had I finished this? I think I have. And I mean, the other thing, everybody is different. Like, what you like and what I like could be absolutely, totally different. Doesn't matter. You do stuff that you like. Thank you, John, for what you asked me. For what you asked? Being you. Well, I find it hard to be anybody else. Okay, percentage is here somewhere. 33. Green. This is the thing about doing confetti. You get colours in and you're thinking, why? I'm doing a tiger. Why have I got green? But as you saw, this is more like a watercolor twist, I suppose, on a tiger. It's not like a real picture. Tammy's fine. Can you not hear her laughing in the background? So you can see it's like a watercolor sort of twist on a tiger. But this part that I'm working on just now, I'm doing, as I said, I'm actually working on this front leg. Is it front leg? No, it's the back leg. The tail comes round and then you get the back leg. There's green in it. I need to find out how to just totally block these things completely. There must be a way to block them. I mean, it's obvious you want to block things like that. Okay, next color, 33%. See, again, I'm just automatically doing checkerboard. I've been doing it since I started diamond painting, so it's just habit. I don't even think about it. Oops. What time is it? I'm going to go, I think. As usual, I've been on longer than I meant to be. I just got in from work and thought I would come on for a bit. And I'm going to go and get something to eat before I have to go to bed to get up for work again. And am I going to say the usual after this colour? Probably. It's always the same. You say, right, okay, I'm going to stop when I finish this colour. And then you start another colour. And before you know it, 3 hours has went past. Oregon, cool. Thanks for dropping in. I mean, if you've got any questions, I mean, the thing is, you can go on, if you've got any questions, you can go on YouTube and put the question in. But I mean, if you want to contact me about anything, you can just email me. I always answer emails. And for people who watch me doing a wander about Copenhagen on Sunday, I will be doing more. Quite a few people enjoyed it. I wasn't really sure if people would be interested in seeing Copenhagen. It's not really diamond painting related, except the things that I've took pictures of and got customs done. But people seem to enjoy it, so that was nice. It gives me a little break as well. Gets me away from here. Yeah, Chantel's got an Etsy shop if you're looking for cover minders and various bits and bobs. But as I said, the main thing is look for something that you like and try not to get something that's mega detailed, because that's where things go wrong. Don't expect to get every single little detail. I'll be talking about that in another video when we're working on a project together. There's something that I want to point out in that. But again, it's not like knocking things, it's just explaining things, like so people can sort of understand better, maybe people who are totally new. Because obviously when you see a picture available in various sizes, you think it's just going to look the same but bigger or smaller, and it doesn't work that way. And sometimes you're just going to get detail that's just too fine, it just won't work. And that's what we mentioned when we get to the unboxing. Talking about that, I have stacks of unboxings. I'm really falling behind with them. I think I've got, I'm going to guess off the top of my head, I've got about 16 to unbox. And I've got no time during the week because I got up at 5 o'clock. I get home at 6 o'clock at night. I have something to eat, and then it's pretty much time to head to bed again to go up at 5 o'clock. Then I have to try and squeeze everything into the weekends. So you're probably going to find there's going to be a sudden burst of new videos after the weekend. At least that's the plan. I just ordered cover minders from, yeah, people collect them, they collect pens, they collect, you know what we like, we collect diamond paintings. Okay. I think I've done that colour. So before I pick up anything else, oh, I missed one. Gotcha. Okay, before I do anything else, I'm going to head off, have something to eat before I go to bed. So thanks to everybody that dropped in. As always, thanks to the people who actually commented, apart from the troll, the bot, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's it. More unboxings, unbaggings coming soon. Yeah, effective ways to store pictures, that's a whole topic. But I don't have time for it. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and in the meantime, take care, be safe, and wash your hands.